Good morning, everybody. Join me with your cup of tea, cup of coffee. Get the morning right. Start it with God. I don't know if the time has changed. I got to look. This laptop was still on Eastern time, and so I was trying to post it at midnight, but I'm an hour earlier here, so it was posting at 11 p.m. So if it switches now or in the future, it's because I'm trying to work on getting that correct to my local time, and I'm on Central time. So we're working on it. Today, I just kind of want to talk about the world and the shape that it's in. We live pretty isolated here, unless you're part of the elite group that gets to travel around the world. When I traveled around the world 50 years ago, it was on a big gray boat. And so I was still isolated. But if people travel, I know that when I went on a cruise a few years back, that cruise ship went down into the Mediterranean and into, not Mediterranean, the Bahamas and Mexico, Cozumel. So get to see the neighbors, but it's still not worldwide. I still want to go to uh, my birthright home of Scotland. I still want to go, travel over there in the West. I want to go through the Mediterranean. I haven't done that. So that's on my list on a future life, maybe. We'll see what happens. But the rest of the world is getting to be a very ugly place when it comes to Christians. So we have to be careful. And we're seeing now that we've got to be careful here. Another shooting at a birthday party. These are evil people. I cannot stress that enough. You don't negotiate with evil people. You eliminate them, or God eliminates them. But since we're down here and he's kind of helping us with this, what is it? Kennedy said, give me patience. If you give me strength, I need bail money. I'm getting that way. I just really don't know what to do with these people. They have no compassion for us. And they really have no compassion for their own people because they use their own people as shields. You know who I'm talking about. And they're all over the world, and they've got allies that are just as hateful of the West for different reasons. So we're going to kind of look at that today. Where are Christians banned? Where's Christianity banned? Well, Christians should be excited for these times, not necessarily for the reason I'm going to talk about today, but we are seeing Bible prophecies unfold before our eyes. If you're not a Christian, you need to be one. It's the only way to escape this. I can't say the future is good, except for being a Christian. If you're a Christian, you've got an excellent future. It may include a worldly death before you get out of here, or it may be a rapture to get you out of here. But one way or the other, what's in the future for Christians is great. What's in the future for the world is the worst that this planet has ever seen. Now, I can think of all things that have happened in the past that we know about: meteorites hitting, asteroids hitting, killing the dinosaurs, something big enough to do that, to cause the flood. Big things are going to happen that are worse than what we've already seen. So if you like this video, hit like, please, because it helps YouTube know how to place it. I want to reach as many people as I can, and the more people that we reach, the better likelihood of us passing on what we know. It's the Spirit that does the saving. We don't do the saving. But people want to know, if you were going to get your car repaired, you go, do you have a mechanic? Who's your favorite for that? Where do you recommend? It's the same thing for God. People want to know what we recommend. And if you're driving around in an old beat up car that smokes, nobody's going to ask you where your mechanic is. You got to have a good looking life for people to want to be a part of that. Also, you can subscribe to this channel. And if you do, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified when I release something new. If you do want to support this channel financially, I am self-run. I don't have volunteers and help to run this. I don't have a staff, a committee, anything. It's just me. But if you do want to support this channel, you can do so with the thanks button. That money goes into the YouTube bucket for which they pay me out every month. If I don't make $100 on the month in ad revenue and your contributions to the thanks button, they don't have to pay me. It rolls over. I'll get it, but $100 a month would be nice because I need that much to pay for the antenna for the internet. That's pretty much all I've got for that. I've got other ways you can contribute if you look at the description. But the most important thing is please pray for me in this ministry. We're doing this for God, both of us. If you're helping pray and I'm giving the word, we're working for God and we want to reach as many people as we can. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to look at countries that you should be familiar with, many of them, that are around the world that don't like Christianity. It's the usual suspects in the beginning, but there's going to be a bunch of little ones that are kind of riding on the coattails of the big guys. So the obvious first choice on here, and these aren't in necessarily any particular order, North Korea. Being a Christian is considered enemy of the state. Crime with those discovered facing immediate execution or imprisonment in brutal labor camps, often with their entire family sharing the same fate. Sometimes their family members might even turn them in. The Bible talks about that. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, I've got a new microphone. We're going to test this out today and see how it works. I don't know if I like it right here in front of me. I might put it on an arm, a boom arm. And if I do that, it'll work the same, but I don't have to have it right here on this stand. See, it's on a stand. But I've got a tripod over here, that boom mark that comes out, and another one I can clamp on the table. So we'll just have to see. We're always making improvements. That should be our personal goal as well as professional. Okay, the similar problems we have with Somalia. We have an immigrant in our Congress from Somalia who fully believes in Sharia law. She should never have been here. She should certainly have never been elected to government. Add to that list Libya and Yemen. Some of these names are going to be familiar when we talk about the Ezekiel War. In these states, conversion to Islam, from Islam to Christianity is forbidden under law and community pressure. They're all Muslims for the most part there. There are some Christian sects in some of these countries. We know in Lebanon, there's, quote, Christians there. They're not going to be your standard Methodists. There's going to be radicalized Christians. I'm not sure 100% how much they really are Christians to be tolerated. But these extremist groups will treat Christian populations very poorly. A couple more countries, Maldives and Brunei. Citizens are legally required to be Muslim, effectively banning Christianity. In fact, in Brunei, possessing a Bible can lead to a 9-year prison sentence. Saudi Arabia, public Christian worship is strictly prohibited. This is Saudi Arabia that we're trying to get into the Abraham Accord. You see where this is going? These people that don't respect Christianity or Judaism, you really can't come to a peace agreement with. And the radical versions of it, you're lucky to not be at war with constantly. We are going to find just as how quickly they can destroy this country from within, which is what they've been doing, courtesy of the previous administration, who was evil. I'm not blaming Biden for it. I think he was just plain so senile, he didn't know what was going on. But the truly evil people, the harlot system, was using him to overthrow this country. And the government forbids owning a Bible, holding religious services, although there is a Christian population there, but very highly restricted. Nations with state-controlled persecution. I didn't even know where this one was, and I'm still not sure. Eritrea, country has a significant Christian population. The government only recognizes 3 denominations: Orthodox Catholic, Lutheran, and Orthodox Catholic and Lutheran. Christians belonging to unapproved groups face severe state prosecution. So it's somewhat of a Christian, but very limited to the radical version. China, no doubt that we know that China has problems. The government requires Christians to worship only in state-sanctioned churches. Unregistered house churches are considered illegal, and their members and leaders face harassment, fines, imprisonment for illegal business operations or crimes against national security. We let Chinese people come here and go to school. Every time we find someone close to our government, close to our science, close to our research and development, we find a Chinese trader sending information back home to China. Now, at least theirs is not a total religious ban, but because they're not Muslim, but they don't like us and they want to take over the world. Any country who wants to take over the world doesn't want competition. Okay, the one that seems to be in the news a lot, Iran, used to be called Persia until they changed the name. The historic Armenian and Assyrian Christian communities are recognized but treated as second-class citizens. Converts from Islam, however, face severe risk, including long imprisonment or death for proselytizing and participating in in-house churches. They get together and talk over all this, knowing what they can do and get away with. In Pakistan, another country, though Christians are a minority, they face systematic discrimination and are vulnerable to the country's strict blasphemy laws, which can carry the death penalty. India. In some states, anti-conversion laws make it illegal to convert others, and Hindu nationalist groups often target Christians with violence and social discrimination. So it's not 100% Muslim, but we're not liked around the world. I saw a list, and I don't know if I can find it again. I saw it on my computer and I didn't save it. But there's a list page long of countries listed by violence. And the top 10 are the people that were encouraged to come here by the previous administration, trying to destroy us from within. It's still possible. We hopefully will get a control over it, but it's going to take time. And more these people are going to step out, like these couple from Afghanistan, and we're going to have to basically say, okay, if you're from these countries and you're not here legally, not only are we going to catch you and throw you out, but you'll never be allowed to come back again. And we might even put a fine on you. Otherwise, we've got Guantanamo, but we can't put 20 million people in prison, which is what they think they let in. Need another cup. So this is not meant to scare you if you're a Christian, because we are used to this. We've seen it before. But this is Christians that are being persecuted around the world. But this is to let us know how close we are to the end. That will encourage us. The destruction, the death that we see, it's not encouraging, it's sad, but it tells us we're getting closer. The harlot system is converting the world over to recognize the Antichrist. It's setting things up for him. As soon as he's ready, he's going to kick the harlot under the bus and take over. But as soon as he starts doing that, we won't be here. So that's our good news. But we need to share the real good news, that of salvation through Jesus Christ. That's what the world needs. And that's why we're still here, frankly. That's the only reason we're here. We've accepted Christ. We should be in heaven, right? Well, he's our friend. We want to help him get as many people as he can to heaven. That's why we're here. The Great Commission. Every one of us has something to do. Not one person who's a Christian can sit back and say, well, I'm a Christian. I don't have to do anything now. I can just sit and wait. Yeah. Jesus will remember that. We don't have a judgment, but we do get a graduation ceremony with a report card. You don't want an empty piece of paper, or you don't want red check marks. Red ink on a paper is never good. You want gold stars or green check marks or 100% at the top. Okay, just keep riding this wave that we're on. Hang 10. I could never do that. I wore glasses. They weren't Coke bottle, but I couldn't see the waves coming at me when I tried surfing, so I could never do it. And you put your strap on to hold your glasses on, and it comes off, and you got to go fish for your glasses. I ended up with real cool, gnarly glasses. They were red and blue and green and stuff, so you could find them when they fall off. But it just was too hard. Besides, we don't have a lot of big waves in Southern California where I grew up. I know that's where everybody surfed at, but it's not bad surfing there. It's easy surfing. If you really want to surf, you got to go to Hawaii. Now, I looked at the waves when I was there in Hawaii a couple of times, and I wouldn't get on a board on those if you paid me. All right, enough of the rabbit trails. The world is a fun place, but we're going to get a new one. So just keep that in mind. So until we meet in the clouds, someday we got a rapture coming. I wish I knew when. When it gets here, we know who's waiting for us. Until then, God bless.